G'day guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be doing my tips for round 24 of the season. We are at the final round of the home and away season in what has been an absolute marathon. And we're just around the corner from where the real stuff is about to get underway. Have a look at the top of the table. We've got Macca 0303 in a battle with MRL from Port Adelaide. I'm going to assume it's Port Adelaide. Zaki 2-3 right behind with Sidebangers Go Pies, so they're going to have to obviously do a fair bit of work to eclipse Macca 0303. We'll see what happens there. I'm sitting at 15th currently. Went a couple of upsets, got 6 out of the 9 games for the weekend, so not too bad. A couple didn't quite go the way that I planned. I'm really interested to see how I did go. Gold Coast fell over. Typical Giants win. Thought Port Adelaide, they've had a good record of late. I went Sydney against Geelong, which was potentially risky, but you just never know. All right, let's have a look at the final round of the home and away season, including the Essendon Gold Coast game. We've got the Thursday night game. We've got Essendon, and they are up against Carlton at the MCG. The Bombers have lost 11 in a row. Unfortunately, they went down to... Which side did they play? My brain's not working at the moment. St Kilda. It was a very close game. They had a red-hot crack, couple of points in it. Carlton had a good win over the Power. I think it was about close to 10 goals. If Carlton play like that, they win again. Bombers will take it right up to them, I suspect. But I think Carlton will be a little bit too strong. Carlton should be winning, especially with the Bombers... outs. But I'm sure the Bombers would love to get a W under the belt just to end the season on a bit of a positive note. Doubleheader Friday, we've got Collingwood at the MCG. They are hosting Melbourne in a do-or-die clash really for the Pies. They went down to the Crows 3 points, not 2 points. Then Melbourne, they had a crack against the Hawks, went down by 6 goals in the end. I'll go Collingwood. They've lost 5 out of their last 6. They have played some pretty damn tough teams in that 6-week patch. I think, they'll respond, likely get that top 4 finish that they're after, pending Gold Coast results and their percentage. Second game of the Friday night, we've got Ken's final game at Adelaide Oval, and forever for Port Adelaide, you suspect, unless they're taking back at some stage in the future, undetermined. Port Adelaide, they went down to the Blues, as mentioned before, and Gold Coast, had a bit of a reality check against GWS, who really turned it on. Gold Coast, and Port Adelaide. So, I'm really tempted to go towards Port Adelaide, but gosh, they burnt me last week, and they are an emotional football club at times, and they might get up for Ken, but I'll just go Gold Coast based on the gravity of the situation. I think, they're the better side, much more polished. You would hope from Port Adelaide's perspective it would be similar to the semi-final, whereby they, backs to the wall, had to beat Hawthorn, or, the world might have ended. I just think Gold Coast to respond there. It's a big clash for both sides. More so for Gold Coast, really. Okay, let's have a look at the Saturday games. We've got North Melbourne starting us off at Marvel Stadium. They are hosting Adelaide. North Melbourne, big winners over the Tigers. I think it was about 8 goals in the end. And Adelaide, 3-point win over the Pies. Their first win over Collingwood since 2016. So that was a crucial result for Adelaide, and all but seals a top 2 spot, if not top spot, depending on what Geelong do and depending on what Adelaide do with North. I think Adelaide will win comfortably. They've had some really good records at Marvel in recent times. North, clearly in a rebuilding stage, bottom 4. Adelaide, top of the table. They'll want to finish top of the ladder, I would have thought. At the MCG, we've got Richmond hosting Geelong, and Richmond, they went down, as mentioned before, by 8 goals. Geelong, a pretty good win over the Swans, 43-point winners at the SCG. Geelong on a nice little run lately. I'll go Geelong again. You expect them to beat the second last ranked team. I don't think it'll be 72 points this time. I'm sure it'll be less than 72. But hopefully the Cats can keep on their merry way for Geelong fans' perspective. Then we have a bit of a look into Saturday night, and we've got West Coast. They are hosting the Sydney Swans. The Eagles, prior to that, they've only won one game for the year, so it's been an absolute shambles of a season, unfortunately, for them. They went down to the Doggies, big loss in the end. The Swans went down to the Cats by 43 at home in a good performance by Geelong. Sydney came out of the box early, but weren't able to maintain it across the full 4 quarters. I'll go Sydney. They have a pretty good record over the Eagles. We know the Eagles are last on the ladder. So yeah, I'll go Sydney to win that one pretty comfortably. Eagles will be happy that the season's over and have an off-season, refresh, reset. Sunday games, let's have a look. So we've got GWS at NG Stadium. They are hosting St Kilda. The Giants had a pretty good win on the road over the Suns, who were very tough to beat in Gold Coast. They were too good for them, running out of the back line. Then we have a look at the Saints, who they've won their last 4. They've played some of the lower-ranked sides, but still been able to get the 4 points on most occasions. And they got the job done over the Bombers, pretty close one. I'll be tipping the Giants. Their home deck, they've been really impressive in the back half of the year, kind of like a similar win-loss ratio with the Dockers. They're very good from July onwards. All right, Marvel Stadium. We've got the Western Bulldogs and Fremantle up against each other here in the Guts Up Cup. Look out. For more information, feel free to check out Fireball Monday on this occasion for the Guts Up Cup. The Western Bulldogs, they are on a bit of a winning run, won their last 4. They had a pretty comprehensive win over the Eagles, as mentioned before. Fremantle, very disappointing at their home deck. They went down to the Lions in pretty comfortable fashion in what was a very disappointing performance. Surprised the margin is on this game. But anyways, I think the Dogs will be winning here. And I'm going to go to the Dogs, not the Dockers, by 22 points. I believe, they've been pretty formidable under the lid throughout season 2025. And whilst the Dockers have had a great second half of the year, they reverted back to their old selves, unfortunately, for Dockers fans. And I just think, with the Doggies midfield will be too strong, and that might kick Freo out of the 8 for good. So, absolute do-or-die clash with what's happening here. So, we'll see how that all pans out. It's a bit of a scramble between the Dogs and the Suns and the Dockers, who could miss. Even some other clubs here, not absolutely guaranteed. So it's a bit of a chaotic round. Brisbane Lions up against Hawthorn. The Lions, they were great against Fremantle. They've been very win-loss lately. They're good at responding. In finals, you'll need to be a bit better than win-loss and not just play well because you played poorly the week before. So that'll come out in the wash. Understand they've got a few injuries as well. Hawthorn, so what do they do? Yeah, big win over the Dockers on the Friday night. That double-headed last week. Having a look at the Hawks, they've won 4 of their last 5. They've been in some really good form. 6-goal win over the Demons. I'm going to go Brisbane to get the chocolates here, and that will probably see them. They will get a top 4 finish if they win this week, which I expect them to. I expect Hawks to give them a pretty good run for their money as well. So I would say, the Lions, a couple of goals in it. We've got, Wednesday night game, which will be interesting to say the least, to round out season 2025. Gold Coast will have Essendon. I think that might be off a 4 or 5 day break. They might play early. So, Gold Coast on Friday night. What's that? Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Yeah, it's like a 4.5, 5 day break. Gold Coast at home should be winning well, but I hope Essendon win. Just to throw the cat amongst the pigeons. Can't speak. Apologies. All right, so let's have a look at who I've gone for over the weekend and for the final game of the season, which is Gold Coast and Essendon, played later on in round 24. We've got Carlton, Collingwood, Gold Coast, Adelaide, Geelong, Sydney, GWS, Western Bulldogs, Brisbane, and Gold Coast. So those are who I've gone. It's an absolute debacle that this game couldn't have been rescheduled any other time throughout the 6-week bye period or whatever, however long the bye period was. It went on forever. So diabolical that couldn't get rescheduled then. And also, wildcard round, question mark, who needs it? We've already this is it. We've got it without even needing to explicitly call out wildcard round. And Sydney, would you really want Sydney in the finals, like with their with how they've gone this year? I think wildcard round's absolute joke, absolute garbage, and should not. Don't have to copy every other code. It's okay to be unique. That's my gripe on that. I'm very interested to hear the thoughts on wildcard round because I'm passionately against it. Because the last 3 or 4, 5 seasons, if not more, we've manufactured it naturally without having to artificially create it, and I think it just dilutes the competition. And I'm heavily against it. If you're good enough to make the top 8, good on you for making it. Teams below the 8 should not be advantaged by being a poor football club or not as strong as what it takes to make the 8. If you're good enough, you make it there. Maybe I'm old school. Who knows? And a bit grumpy today. All right, that's all from me. Hope you enjoyed who I picked over the weekend. Like if you did. Comment your thoughts on some potential upsets over the weekend. Thumbs up, thumbs down for not Gather Round. We do want Gather Round, so that's a thumbs up. Comment. I'm trying to think of what it's called again. Wildcard round. Are we for it? Are we against it? Really interested to hear you guys' thoughts. Subscribe away so you can see who I'm picking over the finals as we get close to there. And yeah, appreciate all of you have tuned in over the course of season 2025 and prior to that. Thanks again, everyone. Really appreciate it. Have a good one, and I'll catch you on the next video.